All right, nice guy. You are a mod now too. All right, let's switch to this. All right, check this out, y'all. So here's the new setup. What we've got is one TV here, one TV here, like this guy. And this is another TV. I think these are both 42. And then we have, I believe, 20-inch monitors mounted in between with the camera in the middle. So what that allows us to do is basically have the equivalent of 10 monitors. So when we look at it from like a real estate standpoint, that's what we end up with. So basically on this TV over here, we end up with what's the equivalent of 4 monitors. Then we have the 2 center monitors that we can use to, like, say for example, have a guest here and an OBS output here. And then over here we can have another 4. So plenty of real estate. So let's go back to our multicam. So how do we get here? So what I was doing was I had this TV here, this TV over here on the left was powering this work laptop. And then this TV over here on the right was powering a personal laptop. And that was great. It was really nice. And I used an application called Mouse Without Borders so that I only had to use one keyboard and mouse between them both. I've used that for years and years and years, and it's great. Well, then recently I've added in these extra monitors here, so that way when I'm looking at someone, I can look at straight ahead rather than looking over here or over here. So that helps. So that was nice, but then I was still dealing with double stuff. So I had 2 microphones, or actually I had 1 microphone and 1 headset, and I would like switch them back and forth between the work and the personal, and 1 camera, and I'd switch it back and forth between the work and the personal all the time. And it was annoying. So then I said, okay, well, let's just buy 2 things. So I have a nice microphone for my personal, and then I had a cheap microphone for my work. And then I had a nice camera for my personal and a cheap camera for work. And then it wasn't until last week that I discovered I can actually hook everything up to 1 computer. So now that I'm invested in this machine, thank you 9 Lives, it can now support for everything. So it's got the TV, both TVs and both monitors are now hooked up to that 1 computer, and that drives everything. So when I'm not working, this is all personal real estate. But when I am working, it's time for work, I just open a remote desktop connection over here, and then bam, I'm in my work computer, and it's the exact same setup that I had before. Where I have my work computer over here. So I have Outlook and Teams and all those things that you have on work, and we'll go away from that for a second. But let me just go ahead and minimize that. So I can go back over there real quick. Come on. Okay. So that's great. Now I've switched back to personal. But then it's, well, how do I utilize my equipment? How do I utilize my equipment that's plugged into this computer on that computer? Well, I'm remote desktoping into it. Through the remote desktop connection, can I share this microphone and this camera? I struggled with it. There might be a way, but then I realized I don't have to. I can just install Teams or whatever the apps are that I use to do the chatting with my team members on my personal computer. So now literally everything is on my personal computer, and then I just share my desktop if I want to, because it's just right there as another remote desktop connection. So I've found that to be like the most optimal way to mix work and personal in an efficient way. And I couldn't be happier with it. And it also happens to work great for streaming. And then we have these Stream Deck here and this little thing here, and we have all these things that makes life easier. So that's my show and tell with the desk. I'll save this as a separate YouTube video and click it, and that way I don't have to keep telling the story over and over again as much as I like to do it. So there we go. Thanks, Fresh. Oh, thanks, Nine. I appreciate that. I really do. And I would say it's worth the investment because, you know, if I'm going to be sitting in front of this computer, you know, all this time, I want it to work and to be efficient and be able to use my time wisely instead of switching back and forth between different things. All right, let's see if Christy has gone live quite